Are we recording?
Yes.
Okay. I guess we'll do stuff now. Action. Hi, everybody. How in the halcyon are you? See what I did there? It's a little punny. All right. Anyways, all right. Welcome back to Paul's Curious Corner of Controversy. I'm Paul. That's my name in the title. So, that makes sense. So, if you haven't guessed it yet, we're going to be talking about The Outer Worlds, which, if you haven't played it, you should. It's awesome. A little bit of information about it. It's by the same creators who've made quite a few of the Fallout games. Obsidian, formerly Black Isle. They do awesome, great stuff. I feel that Outer Worlds is like Fallout and BioShock had a space baby, and said space baby grew up to be awesome, but short like Danny DeVito. Round though, so there's a lot of stuff going on at the same time. But yeah, if you haven't played it, you should. It's full of sci-fi, western, awesome fun, and Easter eggs out the ass. If I think that's how the Easter egg makes them. Easter Bunny makes them anyways. I think he craps out the Easter eggs. But I don't know. But where to start? I kind of rushed through it the first time. It is fun. If you like the Fallout genre games, RPG, it's definitely up your alley. First-person shooter. There isn't a third-person, which is a little fallback on me. I don't know. I loved seeing my characters doing the cinematic kills and stuff like that. But everything's got its ins and outs. But it's fun. It's definitely fun. There's an overlying sense of really dark humor to just about everything in the game, which really gives me the feel of that BioShock had through a lot of its games. Fallout's always had a very dark sense of humor as well, but I think it's a little more... It pops a little more in this. I think humor is definitely a big part of the story writing process in this game. Like I said, I've only played through it once so far, and I kind of rushed through it. I missed, I think, 2 or 3 allies entirely. I only did Havarti's storyline and a bit of one of the other ones. I'm definitely going through it again, and I don't know, I think there's 3 different endings. I got the good one, I think, but it's definitely... A lot of people are complaining that it's a short game, which part of me agrees with, but at the same time, it's with my schedule and how little I get to play, it's perfect for me because I can invest as much time into it as I want and either go do every side mission possible and explore every nook and cranny and find every Easter egg and all the other stuff, or I can run through it and beat the story in like 20-ish hours, I think is the average, if you just kind of run through it. I don't know, like I said, it's a fun sci-fi western hodgepodge of things. It's in space, but there's... I don't know, it's not the grand outer space that most of us generally think about in sci-fi games. It's an expanse, but also condensed universe that you kind of interact with. You deal with a handful of planets that are a variety of different ecosystems and, landscapes. Playing it on a good TV has got to be key because you really get lost in the, looking up at the sky and just seeing all the different planets and constellations and different views of space that different planets have. The character design is pretty fun. It's very right out of Fallout. Just it seems a little prettier than any of the last Fallout games. I've been playing Fallout 76. It's good. It's got its perks, but it just seems to me like Fallout 4 after you beat the main storyline and you just kind of keep going and doing stuff to fill time. It doesn't pull me into it like the Fallouts did. But then again, I'm not a big MMO player, so that makes sense. The Outer Worlds, on the other hand, like right off the bat, pulled me into it. The humor in it is amazing. The sci-fi elements. I'm a huge fucking sci-fi nerd, so having all the little homages and Easter eggs and pulling from all the classics, it's awesome. Some of the Easter eggs you'll catch right off the bat. Some of them, unless you have picked apart certain sci-fi movies from years ago, you won't understand the reference. So it's really all over the place. Some of them, Futurama's one of my favorite things ever, and there's a handful of Futurama references and stuff. I know the Moon Man on Moonbreaker, or the Moon Face. I can't remember what they call it. It's originally from A Trip to the Moon from 1902, which was a French film, but Futurama did it perfectly and actually made it into basically the Mickey Mouse equivalent of space propaganda mascots in one of their episodes where they go to the moon. And I think season 1 they take Fry to the Moon, and there's a character that's literally the big moon head, creepy, overly optimistic, but really, dead and hollow inside, which, depending on which conspiracy you dive into, you could believe in the hollow moon theory about all the alien bases there and stuff like that. But that's a different show that we'll talk about later. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. We'll fix that in post. Or we won't, and you'll just have to deal with it. Sorry, other Easter eggs. All kinds of, throwbacks to Fallout, because for one, that's the people who made it. But one of the interesting ones is, if you know Fallout lore, like detailed, the day the big bomb fell that started the story of Fallout was October 23rd, 2077. When you first wake up in Outer Worlds, the date is August 23rd, 2370, 2320, something like that. But it's roughly 300 years later, so it's definitely a cool, they're using that day, which I don't know if that has a deeper meaning to them or they're just happen to use that date as a throwback to Fallout. There's also a number of, like I said, sci-fi movie references. One of them is your nav computer, if you're a classic sci-fi or just movie nerd in general. 2001 Space Odyssey, HAL 9000 is a dome, a black dome with a red eye that talks to you in a condescending tone. But granted, your nav doesn't talk to you. It does look just like HAL. One of the trophies you get for completing one of the, I think it's Pavarti's storyline, is the icon is an homage to Predator when Dutch and Dylan meet up in the beginning of the movie and they give themselves each other the "you son of a bitch" handshake. There's All Reliable, which is big ass, basically Gatling gun. I think it's a heavy machine gun, but it's that's another throwback to Predator with Jesse Ventura carrying around Old Painless, which was I can't remember what model, but a Gatling gun ripped out of a helicopter that technically was the first time any character in cinematic universe has ever held a weapon like that, and that actually had to be operated by 6 guys off camera for him to carry that around, because the battery pack to make that thing run was ridiculous. That was another tangent, sorry. That's movie stuff. But yeah, All Reliable is an ode to that. Dexter's Lab, which throughout the game there's all kinds of recipes and stuff like that, and then there's a mission that you do. I don't want to give too much away, but it involves translating, and Pavarti says something along the lines of cheese and omelet, which if you grew up in the 90s like I did, there's an episode of Dexter's Lab called The Big Cheese where he's trying to learn French while he sleeps, and the recorder skips and all he says over and over is what takes over his mind is omelette de fromage, which is cheese omelet. And they literally, that's something I've like talked about and had like stuck in my head for years because that's like one of the most memorable things from Dexter's Lab. And they talk about it in this game loosely. Um, there's Disney stuff, not Disney exactly, but Disney movie related stuff. Like I said, there's recipes. Firefly is a huge, just overall, it's like Firefly video game. It's space cowboys with more high tech armor because it just feeling all of the Firefly, they pretty much just had straightforward clothes, which is kind of weird. In this, it's all space armor and stuff like that. I really wish, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not to some of you. If it is, I apologize. I don't know. Maybe all right, I'll leave that out. This game's still a little fresh. I don't want to give too much stuff away, but I wish there was more parts, and I wish there was just more overall. I'm hoping they're going to do some DLC or an expansion or something because it is a fun game, and I'm definitely looking forward to replaying it numerous times and actually getting all of the side characters and building a full crew and seeing how they all interact because you really do. If you mix up your party, there's people will say different things. Vicar Marx has a Walking Dead reference. Vicar Max, sorry. I don't know. The game's fun. If you haven't played it, definitely pick it up. Or if you have, I think the Xbox Gold Pass, you get it for free, which is awesome. I do think with the replayability, it's worth the buy anyways if you like the Fallout style of games. Like I said, the biggest drawback for me would be a little more content would make it that much more fabulous just because the game's so much fun to play. But I don't know. I really miss being able to switch from first person to third person. That was just a fun thing to be able to do. But with it being, I don't know. At the same time, you do build. You can really build a very strong, melee, whatever, however you want to pronounce it, character. So third person would come in handy for that. But at the same time, it is what it is. The game's still fantastic to play. The creatures in it are awesome. There's definitely some great creative people working there. I wish there was more. It seems like some of it's kind of, I don't want to say recycled, but there could be more. But again, the game's awesome. It's definitely worth playing. It's definitely worth replaying. I'm looking forward to it. I started a new campaign. I'm definitely trying to do more. But at the same time, I really want to just eliminate the board and all of the corporate people because they suck. But then again, I don't know. It's I don't know. Like I said, the amount of replayability in it is awesome. I think I've restarted my second playthrough 2 or 3 times now because the first time through I just got annoyed by something. I don't remember what. I ended up just like eliminating the entire Edgewater settlement. And then I kind of remembered that the whole reason I didn't want to, well, again, that's spoiler. Hold off on that. But I killed everybody in Edgewater too early where I didn't get something. I was able to get my ship running, but I wasn't able to get something. I wasn't able to get Vicar Max as a companion. So I had to restart it and not kill everybody just yet. I'm still debating on if I should. I might just do all the missions first and then, cleanse the planet a little bit and let the beautiful little flying manta ray bird things, the petrioles or something like that, those things, take the planet back over. But I don't know. The game's awesome. I'm really looking forward to playing more of it and really getting in depth with it. A lot of people are kind of thrown off by the fact that you can literally, if you build your character right, you could almost talk your way out of just about every fight or conversation or act, which to me that's a throwback to the original Fallouts. I think the first 2 Fallouts you could literally talk your way through all the boss battles if you knew how to weave the right way through the conversation, which I think is an awesome aspect. If you're somebody who really wants to replay the game a million different ways, do it one time where you eliminate the entire universe. Do it another time where you don't kill anybody and you talk your way through it. Do it another way where you just have fun with it. You know, play it. You're gonna play it however you're gonna play it, or whatever. But that's one of the things about the gameplay and the replayability is that you can literally change it, and it actually does affect the outcome and the personalities and the relationships you build with your crew, which is also like an awesome thing. As much as I like games where it's solely based on that character's story, watching the crew that you build and how they interact is awesome as well. I definitely recommend it. It's fun. It's got an overall, like I said earlier, the sense of humor in it is great. There's a lot of jokes for sci-fi nerds or just nerds in general. Pick it up, play it. I definitely plan on doing several more playthroughs. I'm hoping there's going to be more added in the future. I don't know if anything's in the works. I really hope there is. But pick it up, play it. It's fun. There's a D&D reference. That's if you play D&D, which I'm a huge D&D nerd. I just don't get to play. So I listen to tons of podcasts, which one of my favorite things to do is actually play Outer Worlds and listen to an Androids and Aliens podcast, which is a crazy sci-fi RPG that like just fits perfectly into that universe and just kind of like gets me in the mode when I'm not in like one of the in-depth story lines. Space Cannibals, that's fun. That's another little treat in there because cannibalism's always fun. Every kid adventure needs cannibalism, I think. But past that, like, pick up the game. It is out of this world. That's just fucking cheesy. It's Outer Worlds. It's good. It's fun. If you like Fallout, you'll love it. If you don't, that sucks. Everybody's entitled to their own wrong opinion. I'm no different. Till then, stay devious. You know, controversy is fun. So, fuck it. I don't know. Until next time, we're going to keep doing some fun stuff here. We are going to be trying to throw out more content. So, we're going to be doing some new things, some shorter things, some longer things, some different things, some fun things, some sexy things. Well, we'll keep the sexy things to the... That's got to go on the website for that. That's midgetsinleather.xp.penetration.xp.com. There's another XP in there somewhere, and I think strap on. I'll figure it out. It'll be in the thing under the video stuff. Info. There we go. All right. Bye, guys.